Weather first.
Hello everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Luke Sampe. On this Tuesday night, we've got increasing cloud cover and even a few stray showers out there far southwest, and there are a few more rain showers that are moving through central Wisconsin right about, let's call it that I-94 and I-90 corridor. That is going to continue to move off to the northeast, so eventually later on tonight, there could be a few sprinkles or a light rain shower that greets you out the door for Wednesday morning. We'll keep that in the forecast again. Very spotty, very light throughout Wednesday morning. 52 degrees to start your day, 64 degrees at noon, and 72 for your afternoon high with partly sunny skies. When we're going to be well into the upper 70s to around 80 in the extended Storm Team 5 forecast, and that's a check of your weather first.
Now at Local 5, he survived one of Wisconsin's deadliest tornadoes. Yet he doesn't remember a thing. Hear his story tonight.
And from memorials made of flowers to store signs, Menasha and the rest of the Fox cities are starting the healing process from the Fritzie Park shooting.
Plus, an eyewitness to that tragedy shares what she saw and heard on the Trestle Trail Bridge that night.
From WFRV TV, Green Bay, Fox Cities, and the Lakeshore, this is Local 5 News at 10 in HD.
I'm hearing shots fired on the Trestle Trail across.
On the Trestle Trail? Where on the trail?
Right about in the middle.
In the middle, okay.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. But I'm not going to...
Okay, did you hear anything other than shots?
Yeah, I see people running, and I see people laying down on the Trestle Trail.
That is a portion of the frantic 911 calls from the Fritzie Park shooting in Menasha Sunday night. 4 people, including the gunman, were killed, and 1 person is recovering in the hospital tonight. Good evening. Police said the tragedy happened quickly. It was over by the time they arrived just minutes later.
Dozens of people were in Fritzie Park and on the Trestle Trail Bridge at the time of the shooting. Tonight, Local 5's Evan Krugel talked with a woman who saw and heard the chaos. He's live near the bridge right now. Evan?
Aaron, witnesses say the scene was alarming and confusing as shots rang out on the Trestle Trail Bridge. What started out as a simple Sunday stroll for Betsy Roselle quickly changed as she neared the Trestle Trail Bridge.
We were standing just over there in the woods and heard boom, 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 several shots, but thought they were firecrackers.
As she cleared the woods, she saw a woman, Erin Stoffel, lying on the pavement.
It wasn't until after I heard one of the paramedics say she has 3 holes in her that I knew that this was serious and somebody was literally shot right there.
She says the police presence was immediate. Audio between Winnebago County Dispatch and first responders reveals the scene they found upon arrival.
I have a female shot and stomach. She's laying on the trail by the bridge.
We have 4 victims on the bridge. 1 has agonal breathing. No obvious signs of life on the other 3.
At the time, police knew Jonathan Stoffel, Olivia Stoffel, and Adam Bentall were already dead. They did not know that one of the alive victims was the shooter, Sergio Valencia del Toro. First responders made their way onto the bridge regardless.
123, where's the shooter? Has anyone actually spotted the shooter at this point?
540 negative. I'm told that there's numerous people shot out on the bridge.
It was nearly 5 minutes later that the shooter was identified as one of the victims after turning the gun on himself. For Roselle, it's a night she won't soon forget.
Yeah, it's starting to sink in, but you know, thankfully it's not a feeling of fear. We're not afraid. This could have happened anywhere.
Now, Tom, Aaron, you'll notice the Trestle Trail Bridge behind me is back open tonight. In the pavilion sits a growing pile of cards and flowers as this community continues to mourn. Reporting live in the town of Menasha, Evan Krugel, Local 5 News.
Evan, thank you. There is some encouraging news on the shooting survivor, Erin Stoffel. Theta Clark Medical Center tells us that her condition has been upgraded to serious. She is reportedly conscious and communicating with doctors and family.
Many people are chipping in to help the Bentall and Stoffel families. Donations for both families are being collected at all Fox Communities credit unions. And accounts have been created on the website GoFundMe for both the Stoffel and Bentall families. And services are now set for 31-year-old Adam Bentall. He will be laid to rest Saturday at Riverside Cemetery in Appleton. His visitation is Friday at Valley Funeral Home in Kimberly from 4 to 8 p.m. The family has set up a memorial fund in in Adam's name and asked for donations instead of flowers. No funeral arrangements are yet available for John and Olivia Stoffel.
Now, in the wake of this tragedy, many in the Fox cities are bonding together. Now, the healing will be long, but it is well underway. And Cole Higgins live with us now in the studio with that story. Cole?
Tom, the shooting was the first major act of violence in the area, and while people are still processing what happened at Fritzie Park, they say the incident won't define how they continue to live life in Menasha.
We'll always be a little bit more cautious, but we are strong.
Menasha strong. It's a message spreading throughout the community after it was rocked by a tragic shooting.
It was a random act of violence, senseless, sad, but people will go on living.
Community members are determined to take back their sense of security and normalcy.
Will life be the same in Menasha? Absolutely. Will we ever forget it? No, we won't.
People from across the Fox cities are leaving flowers, stuffed animals, and other memorials on the Trestle Trail Bridge at Fritzie Park as a way to remember the victims, support the community, and to begin the healing process.
Just wanted to come down and say a couple words, thoughts to ourselves, and certainly pray for the families involved.
Feeling bad for the mother and the children who are same age as my children. So I guess it just really hit home for me.
The shooting is impacting the entire Fox Valley as it deals with a sense of loss and confusion after the senseless act.
It takes away my sense of safety in the community, that you never know what's going to happen at any given time.
And while it's been tough for many to come to terms with the tragedy, Menasha residents say they will not live in fear.
Well, you can't change your life for every incident that happens, and you can't be scared to live anymore. You have to 1, 2, 3. Still give your kids experiences, not just focus on the tragedies.
As Evan mentioned earlier, the Trestle Trail Bridge and Fritzie Park are back open tonight, and while the community continues to deal with the incident that happened there, Menasha officials are encouraging everyone across the Fox cities to honor the victims by continuing to use that beautiful space. In the studio, Cole Higgins, Local 5 News.
Thank you, Cole. And all the latest information on the Fritzie Park shooting is online at wearegreenbay.com. A familiar face joins the ever-growing field in the race for Republican presidential nomination.
And state lawmakers strike down a major part of Governor Walker's budget plan, which would have meant a big change to the UW system.
And our warm start to the month of May continues when we'll touch 80 degrees again in the Storm Team 5 forecast.
Plus, the Brewers hoping to make it 4 in a row tonight at Miller Park. Burke's got highlights later on in sports.
You're watching Local 5 News with Tom Zalaski and Aaron Davison. And now, with Northeast Wisconsin's most accurate forecast, Chief Meteorologist Luke Sampe.
And we have quiet conditions, dry weather continuing on for many locations in Northeast Wisconsin. Not a bad night out there. Temperatures still holding on to the mid-50s if you're away from Lake Michigan. The High 5 Skycam network, powered by Van Vredes, showing us the dry conditions that we have in place. Yeah, we're a little cloudy, and eventually later on tonight we could have a few showers work on in, but nothing that's going to be terribly heavy and nothing that's really going to amount to a whole lot in terms of coverage as well. So a spotty shower overnight, that's going to lead off our weather headlines, and then we'll keep another spotty shower possibility for Wednesday morning. And then we focus on a big warm-up. By the time we get into that Thursday time frame, it's going to feel like June or July again. 72 tomorrow, that's way above average by about 10 degrees. 80 on Thursday, near 80 on Friday, cooling down a little bit for Mother's Day weekend. Like in Montello or Watoma or Clintonville, mid to upper 70s to around 80 as soon as tomorrow. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a late night shower in 47. And then for tomorrow, a few spotty showers, otherwise mostly cloudy, and 72 your high, obviously cooler lakeside with the southeast wind. 80 degrees on Thursday with a spotty shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon. 78 on Friday, a few more storms possible. Dry to start the weekend, a few showers for Mother's Day, and that unsettled pattern will linger on into early next week, also cooler. Here's the Kagan Allergy Report. The pollen is very high. The mold is moderate. Check in often with our Facebook page. Give us a like. WFRV TV Channel 5 for much more on the area's most accurate forecast.
When it comes to tornadoes, an EF5 is as strong as it gets. And this vicious act of nature wiped the village of Barneveld in southwest Wisconsin off the map, killing 9 people in 1984.
And Local 5's Chris Schuler recently spoke with one of the survivors of that tragic night.
When that EF5 tornado hit Barneveld, it had wind speeds in excess of 300 miles per hour. But the man you're about to meet has very few memories of the day he almost died.
The most destructive tornado touched down near Madison, Wisconsin, in the town of Barneveld.
It's not your typical story.
Imagine being tossed about by a tornado, which killed 3 members of your family, and not recalling a single moment of it all. That is what Trevor Simon must deal with every single day.
Remembering something you had and losing it would be a lot more difficult than, starting from the ground up.
31 years ago on a June night in the village of Barneveld, an EF5 tornado wiped this town off the map. 9 people were killed, including Trevor's parents and an 8-year-old sister.
Did I wake them up and them coming to get me if that ultimately was their demise?
Trevor, not quite 2 at the time, was found blocks from his home lying near railroad tracks.
They originally thought I was just a pet, like a dog or a puppy or something, and it wasn't until they got up close to me that they saw that I was a little baby.
Taken to UW Hospital in Madison, placed in intensive care for weeks. His battered body, paralyzed from the waist down, eventually healed. Taken in and raised by his aunt and uncle, his psychological wounds, though, took a bit longer.
Anytime there was thunder and lightning, I'd go hide in the closet and start crying and stuff until it kind of passed.
And until he was a teenager, his nightmares often involved storms.
Every time I'd have a dream, it'd slowly progress and get closer, like I'd want to taunt it or something and take it on.
Menacing figures he'd eventually learn to face head on.
It's not until I learned to let go of things and just kind of accept who I was that life started to get better for me.
While Trevor's life has obviously changed because of this tragic day, he's determined not to question the fact he survived and his family did not.
Everything they say happens for a reason. There's always some greater meaning or purpose behind all actions, but it's always one of those unanswerable questions. You can ponder about it all you want.
He's found peace within himself, in part because it was a tragedy he simply can't recall.
I think it's honestly for the best.
And Trevor says he moved to the Green Bay area from southern Wisconsin roughly 7 years ago, in part to get away from all the attention he still receives today from surviving that tornado.
And now, the Ford Sports Desk with Bert Griffin.
If Craig Counsell's debut as the Brewers manager is anything like the rest of his career, then baseball fans in Milwaukee are in for quite the ride. Last night, the crew rallied for 3 runs in the 8th to take Game 1 of the series against the Dodgers. Scooter Gennett back with his big league team after playing for the Timber Rattlers. Second inning, Gene Segura cranks one out to center field. Jock Peterson can't hang on to it, kicks it around, and Ramos Ramirez would come in to score to make it 1-0. This one was a pitcher's duel until the 6th. 2 on for Matt Garza. Justin Turner, see you later to center. That made it 3-1. Then in the 7th, Neil Cotton for the crew. He did not have a good inning. Gave up 2 home runs. Right now it is 8-2 in the 9th inning. The Timber Rattlers, they were at home tonight as well. Game 2 of their series against Cedar Rapids, down 2-0. In the 2nd inning, Monte Harrison staying hot, ripping one out to right field, down the line to the wall. Elvis Rubio and Dustin DeMoose score to make it a 2-2 ball game. Top half of the frame, though, bases loaded for Jorge Fernandez and the Colonels, and that'll clear them all. 5-2 at that point. Timber Rattlers lose tonight 7-3.
Cabo or the town of Scott? We're going to go with the latter there. Thank you, Mr. Pitluck, showing us that picture tonight. Hit or miss shower for the morning, otherwise warming up again. 72 tomorrow, 80 by Thursday.
That's why they call it God's country.
And you should know. Thanks for keeping it local tonight at 10.
Letterman is next. Have a good evening.